Set mining is a thing because usually if you hit a set on a flop, there's a good chance that that's going to win at showdown. And if you hit it at the right time and somebody else has got an overpair, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to stack somebody. It's the best way to beat the overpair, and it's tough for overpairs to see it. It's tough for them to get away from it. But a lot of people, and I just saw somebody do this the other day, or say it, and it was actually on a stream, and I didn't say nothing in their chat, but he limped pocket twos under the gun, and he said, we're going to do a little set mining here.
No.
And I wanted to, I giggled for most of the hand because that's not really set mining. I mean, I guess technically anytime you're in a pot with a pocket pair, you're set mining, but like the definition of set mining is under the gun +1 raises, you get another caller, you got pocket 3s, 4s, 7s on the button. You don't really want a 3-bet, and so you just call. That's sort of set mining. When you limp pocket 2s from under the gun, that's not set mining. Like, because if I got a bigger hand, you're not going to be in it when the flop comes anyway. Then when you recall my raise, then maybe you're set mining, but you're doing it at a price that'll be out of this world. Because if there's a bunch of limpers in there, I tend to raise much more with my bigger hands. If you think it's profitable to call from early position big raises with pocket 2s, then God bless you, always be on my table. What you're looking for when you set mine is position, implied odds, and so you're really looking at, hey, he's raising it to 120. I'm going to call 120, and I don't really care about the 500 that's in the pot now. That'd be nice to win if I can, but what I want is to have there be 15K in the pot at the end because he had kings and I hit my set of 3s or 4s or whatever it is. You're really looking for that. Now that doesn't mean that you can't turn your pocket 2s or your pocket 7s or something you played from late position into a bluff or into the winning hand by betting correctly, even if you don't hit a set. But the set mining aspect of it is you're trying to hit a set in position so that they can't see you have a set. It happens to me more than you think, and I know it happens to other people too. And I don't know if it was Kirsch or Chuck said something in the chat way earlier in the chat. The best poker I've ever played, I didn't do a fucking thing. Somebody else did it for me. And so I've been in hands where I flopped a set. Hell, I was in a hand not too long ago where I had quads, and I never had to bet. I had quad 2s, and I flopped it, and I was on the button or the cutoff, and the small blind bet out. The under the gun guy raised him. The next guy pushed all in. The next guy pushed all in. I only had to call. I didn't have to do shit. And I was in another hand recently where I flopped a set of 7s. And all I ever did was call. That dude just kept betting into me and betting into me and betting into me. And eventually he jammed all in on the river, and I just called. He gave me all his chips. I never had to bet. That's the goal of set mining, is that right there, where you don't have to do jack shit. The hand plate itself, they went 7th level on you and tried to get you to fold whatever they thought you had, and you had a set all along. So, where you need to sort of get away from set mining is you're not set mining anymore if under the gun raises a little more healthier than they normally do, and then a mid-position person pot bets. If you flat call that pot bet, you're called a retard. You're not called set mining. With your pocket twos, you're a donkey. Your first words when you were born were hee haw. That's not set mining. That's punting a tournament. Set mining is calling a small bet with 2 or 3 people in it, and you can even say just one if you're in position. That is set mining, and the implied odds on it are through the roof. If you've got Poker Tracker, go back and look through. Some of your biggest hands were where you flopped a set. I guarantee it. The other half of your hands are where you had an overpair, and somebody just knew their 10 jack was good on that 10 high board. They just knew it. Those are usually your best, your biggest pots, where you're going to get paid the proper way, I guess, is to say it. I know if I look through mine, I've been on enough final tables where it might look like, oh, hey, how come winning with 7-8 has got me all those chips? Well, it's because I had 7-8 in the big blind of a final table where we were super stacked, and I defended, and flop came 7-7 king, and he had ace king, and so I won $2 million in chips with 7-8. That's one hand. Most times my 7-8 doesn't quite pull down that kind of bank. Excuse me. So that's the little bit I'm going to do on set mining.